Mastering boundaries and emotional regulation. How to stay calm and reframe conflict under pressure. This is the 14th episode of the series segment Transformative Personal Experience. Do you ever find yourself shutting down in tough conversations? Or feeling like you are either too aggressive or too passive when it comes to setting boundaries? Maybe you avoid conflict or you explode when the pressure builds too much. What if your response to conflict and pressure isn't about the moment, but a no good, a lack of boundary setting knowledge, emotional regulation, or altogether? The biggest challenge isn't just the conflict itself, it's how we regulate our emotions in those moments. Copy this, my friends. Setting boundaries isn't just about what you won't do. It's about what you will prioritize. It's about how you handle yourself in moments of pressure, how you regulate your emotions, and how you reframe conflict. So it doesn't drain you, but empowers you. Well, allow me to share that I learned that the hard way. Welcome back, warriors, to your best for a better you, your special forces unit for breakthrough living, where we decode the DNA of excellence to help you dominate personal and professional growth. Feel for you. This is Scarlett Marcel Vantedeschia, and today we are diving into mastering boundaries and emotional regulation. How to stay calm and refrain conflict under pressure. I will share a defining moment from my engineering days when a cruel act forced me to choose between an emotional explosion or silence resilience. This wasn't just about staying cool, but beyond. Today's episode is all about the four skills that will change the way you handle pressure, conflict, and boundaries for good. If you are tired of feeling like your emotions control you instead of the other way around, then, my dear friends, let's dive in. You ever been so hungry, so exhausted, so deep in the grid that the world around you just faded into the background? That was me. Engineering school. I was taking every course I could to speed up my degree. German classes, teaching English, social service, no sleep, no food, just pushing. I remember this one day, exam season. My mind a battlefield of formulas and deadlines. Hours has passed. My stomach was practically screaming at me, eating me. But I wasn't breaking focus. And then my mother called me to eat. Lunch! Finally, a moment to breathe, some fuel to follow through. I get to the table. And what do I see? Plate empty? No food? Just numbers, equations, symbols, heavy brick mat book staring at me? Hunger for knowledge or real food? Can't decide. Stomach growls, praying hard. Husser sitting on my plate. I freeze. My brain is struggling to process. And then she says it. If books are what you like to eat, there you have it. Siblings, mother laughing. Then silence. My stomach drops, but not from hunger anymore. My body goes cold. That feeling, you know the one. When reality hits you so hard, it almost feels unreal. I was hungry. I was drained. I was heartbroken. I had spent countless hours contributing to my home also. Yet, I was being mocked instead of supported. Many times, she had hidden food from me. And to this day, I don't fully understand why. But at that moment at the table, I made a decision. I left the table, didn't argue, didn't beg. I simply walked away and went back to my studies. That moment taught me a powerful lesson about emotional regulation and boundaries. Yes, I wanted to scream, to demand why, to argue, to cry, to throw that damn book across the room, but I didn't. I just took my book, stood up, and left. No food, no fight, no breakdown. Tears. I went back to studying. Not because it didn't hurt. It hurt like hell. But at that moment, I made a decision. I couldn't let my emotions control my actions, my focus, my boundaries, my goal. Untouchable. That was the day I learned something powerful, my friends. Emotional regulation isn't about feeling nothing, it's about choosing your boundaries and what deserves your action. And this is, my friends, where the first skill kicks in. Understanding how your environment shapes your reaction. Here is the reality, my friends. Not every emotional reaction is about the moment you are in. Sometimes it's about the environment around you. It could be a tone of voice that reminds you of something painful, an aroma, a certain smell that brings up a buried memory, a power dynamic that unconsciously makes you feel small. Your brain isn't just reacting to now, it's pulling data from your past. So, back to my story. That moment at the table, it wasn't just about hunger, it was about control. It was about power dynamics. It was about an emotional trigger being activated. But instead of letting it take over, I did something different. And that leads us to the skill number two, emotional regulation. The silent power move boundary, using intentional silence to assert personal limits and maintain emotional control. I didn't snap, I didn't argue, I didn't beg for validation. I didn't throw the book. I had a goal. I held my ground in silence. Why? First, I needed a book. Okay? But sometimes silence is the strongest boundary you can set. So many people think boundary setting is about confrontation, long explanations, or convincing someone to respect you. It's not. Reframe it like this. Instead of, why don't they respect my boundaries? Ask yourself, why am I explaining them to people who won't respect them anyway? Got it? Okay. Boundaries aren't about getting others to agree. They are about you standing firm. This is based on values as well. We will talk about that in another episode. And here is something people don't like to admit. Boundaries push people away. Yes, but only the wrong ones. When I walk away from that table, I didn't just keep my dignity. I kept my power and my book. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean you suppress emotions. We are humans. It means you manage them. And that's exactly what the next skill is about. But first, allow me to make a parenthesis here. How you internalize your emotions is also related to your personality. If you are assertive, as like in my case, will be kind of easier to manage them. If you want to go deeper into this topic, I invite you to join the waiting list for my upcoming book, The Boundary Reset Experience Starling, where I go in detail about these four skills. Okay, my friends, now reframing conflict positively. Here, let's get tactical. You know those moments when someone tries to provoke you, right? Maybe a boss pushing your limits, a client crossing the line, or a coworker or a family member testing your patience. Okay? What if I told you conflict isn't the problem? Your reaction to it is. See? Um, I could have taken my mother's words personally. I could have spiraled into frustration or self doubt. But instead, I made a mental shift. Instead of seeing her words and actions as a direct attack, I saw them as an external factor. Here is the mindset shift. Instead of, this is happening to me, think, this is just information. I decide what to do with it. Different, right? That one shift changed everything. Because here is the hard truth. You cannot control how people act. Do you agree? Do you agree? But you can control how you respond. No? Powerful, right? And that's the real power. Yes. And again, knowing yourself is key. Your strengths, your weaknesses, what triggers you, even your biology. My biology? Yes, my friends, to stay calm under pressure, you need to train your brain. A lot of people think staying calm is just about mindset, meditation. It's not. It's biological. Your brain, nervous system, and body all play a role in how well or how badly you handle stress. And when the pressure is high, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your training. So, right now, I will share some practical tools to regulate your nervous system before setting boundaries. Okay, so here is how you train for it. And this is science, so copy this, my friends. Sleep, constant learning, diet, and movement aren't optional. They are your foundation for emotional control. Train your brain daily. Problem solving tasks strengthen your resilience. Okay? Task is going to be a little complicated for some kind of personalities than others. You need to learn about yourself. That's why I insist. The 10-second rule or 90-second rule from Tony Robbins that he always applies successfully and teach to us. Before responding in a high stakes situation, pause. Delay your reaction. You will instantly gain control. Uh, Assertive personalities like mine are experts in control. Okay? In my book, I go deeper into these tools. The moment at the dinner table, do you remember? Let's go back to my story. That wasn't just emotional control, it was years of training in action. Because when the moment of crisis comes, you don't think, you do what you have trained yourself to do. So it's better you decide what training you want. Got it? The Boundary Reset Experience Starling goes deeper with tactical strategies you can apply easily. Now let's close this. Boundaries make you stronger, not softer. Copy this, my friends. Boundaries don't make life easier, they make you stronger. Emotional regulation isn't about being a robot, it's about making the right decision when it matters most. Reframing conflict positively and staying calm under pressure are skills that can be developed. These are four tactical skills that give you a strategic edge. Okay? By mastering them, you can navigate challenging situations with confidence and poise. So let's get trained to learn more about how to apply these skills effectively. So, warriors, I invite you once more to join the waiting list for my upcoming book. This resource will train you in these skills, ensuring you feel safe and successful in all your interactions. And this is feel for you. Now that you know more about your biology, how to reframe conflict with calm, and how boundaries can make you stronger, the next time you feel emotionally hijacked, ask yourself, am I reacting out of habit? Or am I intentionally choosing my response? What boundary do I need to set right now? Good questions, right? Now, this week, this challenge is for you. Pay attention to how you respond under pressure. When conflict hits, when stress spikes, stop and notice. Am I reacting or am I responding? Copy this, my friends. If you don't train yourself with tools that serve you, someone else will use them against you. Okay? So, my friends, mission accomplished. Thank you so much for tuning in to Your Path for a Better You, your special forces unit for breakthrough living. Stay empowered, stay strong, strength, and honor. See you in the arena.